Your birthday party, am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? I know about them.
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show many times. Have you been to his parties?
I don't have any real personal beef with Diddy, but it's got to go down. The bits are there. I'm a gold miner. I just found some gold.
Joe Rogan just said something that lit a fuse. And this time, he's pointing straight at the silence surrounding Ellen DeGeneres. With the Diddy situation dominating headlines, timelines, and group chats, people keep circling the same question: how is nobody connecting the dots that keep showing up? Because Ellen's name keeps surfacing in these conversations, and a lot of people are acting like they don't see it. When Diddy was hit with serious federal charges, the public did what it always does. It started digging old clips, old interviews. Moments that were brushed off as jokes at the time, now replayed through a very different lens. And suddenly those moments don't land the same way. That's where Ellen comes in. People began resurfacing clips of Ellen and Diddy on her show looking unusually comfortable, laughing, joking, leaning into party talk like it was harmless banter. At the time, it played as light television. Now, with everything else in context, it feels heavier.
All right, we're back with Sean Diddy Combs. Is it Diddy today? Because sometimes you're Puffy and sometimes you're Diddy. Or sometimes you're Daddy. What are you today?
I'm so confused today with it, as long as you say it in a nice way.
Because as the conversation has shifted, those jokes are being rewatched like they meant something more. And wait until you hear what Joe Rogan actually said. From his perspective, there's a reason people aren't pressing Ellen the way they're pressing others. Even though Diddy appeared on her show multiple times, even though the party talk wasn't a one-off comment, it was a recurring theme on camera, treated casually. Now viewers are reinterpreting those moments as part of a much bigger story.
New thing, are you going to try to be early?
Yes, I'm trying to be early.
Are you going to be early for my party?
Yes, I am. No.
No.
You know I have to arrive fashionably late.
All right. Not too late, though.
Not too late?
Not too late, please.
What time would you like me there?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But not too late, because, you know, once you get there, the party really starts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Because when you really think about it, the silence is loud. And it raises one uncomfortable question: is this just awkward timing, or is it the kind of topic nobody wants to touch? And then it gets stranger. Remember when Ellen's show ended after the toxic workplace scandal? That wasn't a blink and you miss it headline. It reshaped how people saw her. Not long after, Ellen and Portia moved to the UK, with Ellen publicly tying the decision to the political climate. But many viewers didn't read it as a lifestyle choice. They read the timing like a signal. Fair or not, that's how it landed. Coincidence? Maybe, but audiences don't deal in maybe. That's why people keep pulling receipts and asking what really went on behind the scenes. So before we go deeper into the Rogan angle, here's why Ellen matters in this conversation at all. When BuzzFeed News published its report about her show, it shattered the Be Kind image overnight. Former staff described intimidation, racism allegations, toxic management, and a culture where people felt they couldn't speak up without consequences. What stuck with the public wasn't just the claims, it was the contrast. The brand was kindness. The stories sounded like pressure. The backlash was intense. Executive producers were removed. Ellen addressed it publicly, but the debate never fully settled. Was it just bad leadership under her, or was it the culture of the entire show? As Ellen said, she didn't know everything that was happening behind the scenes. That's where the audience split. Some believed her, others didn't. Either way, her reputation took a hit.
You may have heard this summer there were allegations of a toxic work environment at our show, and then there was an investigation. I learned that things happened here that never should have happened. I take that very seriously, and I want to say I am so sorry to the people who were affected.
The show continued for a while, then ended, with Ellen saying it just wasn't challenging anymore. But many people read it differently, like the trust was gone and never fully recovered. Now let's get to what Joe Rogan actually said about Ellen during the Diddy discussion on his podcast. Rogan pointed out how strange it is that for years, so many celebrities openly joked about Diddy's parties like it was a flex.
I guess Diddy just kept people at his houses because he's got multiple houses, and he's just had freak out part. Look at him. Look at Saucy sat down and go, Saucy.
Yeah. No, Saucy's crazy. Have you seen Saucy?
He specifically mentioned people like Ashton Kutcher and others who talked about those parties like they were badges of honor. Then Rogan made the obvious point. How did all these famous people orbit those parties for years, joke about them publicly, laugh about them on camera, and now claim they saw nothing, when the current allegations paint such a different picture? And this hit hard because the party talk wasn't subtle. There's one 2018 interview people won't stop replaying. Diddy tells Ellen he invites her to all his parties and she never comes. Then he adds that the parties start early, but the real party starts later, around midnight, on the top floors. Ellen reacts like she already knows exactly what he means. That moment is what people can't let go of.
What time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel. You know.
And then it will carry on there?
Yeah. Then no, I mean the after party.
No, I know about
No, I know about them. So why does this matter, and why does Rogan think it's suspicious that Ellen's name barely comes up in mainstream coverage? First, she had Diddy on her show multiple times. The party talk was a running joke. Then people started pulling older clips too, like a 2002 Conan O'Brien appearance where Diddy joked about needing locks on the doors at his parties. Back then, it sounded like shock humor. Now, it feels like foreshadowing, fair or not.
Right. Just, you know, so if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, once those clips resurfaced, the question shifted to, what did Ellen know, if anything, and why isn't she saying a word? People even dug up a 2016 tweet where Ellen jokingly nicknamed Diddy Cuddle McNuggle stuff. There were also moments where she's approached with questions and doesn't engage. Some viewers read her body language as uncomfortable. Others say anyone would look that way being ambushed. Either way, it poured gas on the conversation.
Like, you may not do that. You're neat, though, right? I would imagine your closet is color coordinated. Everything is hung in a certain, right? So you're neat. It's just that you're not the person that puts it back. All right.
Rogan's point stays simple. If you were close enough to have someone on your show repeatedly, joke about their party culture on national TV, and react like you know what that means, people are going to expect you to address it when things turn serious.
Diddy party, but there's a camera that swings around and they go, hey, yo, oh, Odell Beckham, and you see Justin Bieber's head come up from his crotch, and he looks in the camera and he's very confused. It's a really disturbing video.
At that time, Puff was the biggest guy in the world. You know, you couldn't even get in his parties. And he was throwing a party, and he said, yo, Playboy, this party's $1.5 million. I said, for what? I mean, what are you saying? It costs $1.5 million to throw this party. I said, Puff, I love it. The party's amazing. Yes, the mayor is here and everything. I said, but that's too much. What? I said, you come to my place in LA, I'll throw you a party for $400. That will rival this party. And he got a little mad. He was like, yo, no, I'm known for this shit. Don't front.
And the silence from Ellen and others is what Rogan finds suspicious at the perception level. But there's another layer. Some former staff from Ellen's show described a culture where people felt scared to speak up. Commenters draw parallels between that dynamic power, fear, silence, and how they imagine other celebrity circles operate. That doesn't confirm anything criminal, but it explains why the comparison keeps coming up. The stories resurface about tense sets, guests being kept off the show, and a controlling atmosphere. Whether every claim is accurate or not, the pattern people argue about is the same: control, pressure, silence. Once the public starts seeing a pattern, they reinterpret everything. And here's the contrast people point to the most. In 2009, after Chris Brown was accused of assaulting Rihanna, Ellen confronted Diddy on her show about why Chris Brown was allowed to use his house. She spoke forcefully about domestic violence. saying she didn't want any girl thinking it was okay to go back to someone who hit her.
Whoever I want to give my house
Sure.
to, that's number one. Number two is that I'm the type of person that I don't cast a stone or cast a judgment on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so if a friend or friends ask me for a favor, then I'm going to be there for a favor.
Later, when workplace allegations about her own show surfaced, former staff described toxic behavior and an abusive culture. That's where people cry hypocrisy, not because it proves a crime, but because the contrast is stark. Protecting women on camera, allegedly enabling harm behind the scenes. Zoom out further, reports emerged that Ellen and Portia sold their Montecito home and moved to rural England. Officially, it was tied to the political climate. But viewers mashed that timing into the Diddy conversation, watching closely to see which celebrities stayed silent and which didn't. And then the rabbit hole got darker. False rumors spread online claiming Ellen had an arrest warrant tied to her former DJ Stephen Tiwich boss who passed away in 2022. Fact-checkers shut it down, completely false. But what matters is how fast it spread. People weren't asking, is this true? They were asking, does this fit the storyline? With Ellen's reputation already damaged, her name became a magnet for anything shocking. Even in her Netflix special For Your Approval, Ellen joked about being pushed out of show business. Acknowledging how the Be Kind Girl Wasn't Kind headline became her identity.
All right, well, let me catch up on what's been going on with me since you saw me last. I decided to take up gardening. I got chickens. Let me see what else I can tell you about that. It's been going on. Oh, yeah, I got kicked out of show business.
But
What people focused on wasn't the joke, it was the tone. She talked about ego, exposure, and how hate gets louder than love. She said people either idolize you or despise you, and the hate somehow carries more weight. Many didn't hear accountability. They heard deflection. Then came another viral moment. Aaron Rodgers went on Joe Rogan's podcast and compared Ellen's old talk show set to Epstein Island based on architecture. Rogan shut it down immediately, calling it coincidence. But the fact it even came up says everything about where her reputation sits now. People are trying to place her on the same conspiracy map, not because it's proven, but because the internet loves a cinematic villain arc. So what are people actually saying?
Look at the temple, and then look at the...
Let me see Ellen's background. What? Oh, similar. That looks like a building, though. Like
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Is that a building in LA? That might be a building in LA.
One person said Ellen knew and escaped to England while Diddy faces federal charges. Others said Rogan is the only one saying what everyone's thinking. Many asked why certain names get dragged nonstop while others get a softer edit. Then come the body language breakdowns. Ellen avoiding questions, people calling it guilty looking. Again, this is perception, not proof, but perception drives the internet. The same elements repeat: toxic workplace headlines, an apology people didn't accept, a move overseas read as a signal, and the Diddy conversation growing louder. That's the engine of this story. People feel like Ellen never really paid a price, so they look for a bigger explanation. Why does it feel like nobody wants to talk about her? Because many believe she's handled differently, not legally, but socially. Connections, influence, narrative control, even after stepping away from TV. What's changing is this: people like Joe Rogan don't follow those rules. They ask the quiet question out loud, and once a platform that big does that, the audience takes over. The real controversy is that Ellen is worse than Diddy. That's reckless. The controversy is why some names are interrogated endlessly while others are treated carefully. Even when the clips exist, the quotes exist, and the optics are messy. That's why this keeps circulating. The Diddy situation triggered a rewind, old interviews. Old jokes, new meaning. As for Ellen's future, probably quiet unless real, verifiable evidence ever surfaces. Not vibes, not theories, not body language. She'll likely be remembered for the toxic workplace era more than anything tied to Diddy. And Diddy's legal situation isn't going anywhere. Appeals, filings, civil cases, and a growing echo that keeps pulling new names into the conversation. So what do you think? Did Ellen know more than she ever admitted? Or is this the internet doing what it always does, turning old clips into a storyline? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more breakdowns of celebrity stories mainstream coverage tiptoes around, check out the other videos on the channel.